be in the prequel. So then you would go, this new guy playing young Captain Spaulding sucks. So there's a lose-lose situation. That's the thing with the prequel. And then everyone that's in the other movies will just be mad at me. But I always think about revisiting it, but truthfully, the reason we never have, and I feel like time's running out for doing it, we probably won't, is just Lionsgate just doesn't really care. You know, they own it, so we'd have to get them to want to do it. They've sort of changed as a company, even though they sort of built that company on those type of movies, they really don't care about them anymore, so they have no interest in it. Yeah, so.
Right here up front.
So, what comes after this movie? I mean, what are your plans in the movie industry now that you've completed this one?
Well, the next movie is called Broad Street Bullies, and it's kind of different. It's a hockey movie. It's a true life film about the Philadelphia Flyers in 1974, winning the Stanley Cup, and it's a long story. And I know that people that don't like hockey are like, oh man, but it's a fucked up cool story. You'll dig it. It's kind of like Dirty Dozen meets Boogie Nights on ice.
Waving. I like waving, so waving, I see you right there, red hair-ish.
I've heard that it's possibly your last horror film ever. Is that true, or so?
Who knows? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. It's the last one for a long time because I got several other movies lined up that'll take many years, and none of them are horror. So who knows? But whatever I think is the next movie has never been the next movie.
Exactly.
Every single time. So
yeah. I still want to see
T-Rex. It's just not gonna happen.
Right here. Yeah, you.
For Sherri, I want to know if this role is more challenging than one you played before, if you have any favorites.
Well, my favorite is always the last character I played, just because it's still fresh to me. But I love all my characters. And it was challenging, yes, in many different ways. And it's hard to answer that question because I feel like the whole project was so challenging for everybody. We all just worked really hard, and it was a fast blur. And now it's almost 2 years ago since we worked on it, so the memories are fading.
It's really weird how that happens.
Would you, I mean, for your next project, I'm sure you're going to be working on an elevated budget, but do you think it's healthy for a filmmaker to kind of balance between mid-range budgets and doing low budget films?
I mean, I think any kind of budget's fine. I mean, low budget. I mean,
Kind of keep the creative juices
low budget
flowing?
films. I think the budget of this movie would have been absolutely fine if I was like, okay, the whole movie takes place in her apartment and there's 3 characters. Then it would have been no problem. But the thing is, I concocted all this other stuff, so every day we'd go, oh great, we got to shoot 30 pages today. You know, it's 14 scenes, and every day was like that. So that's not so great. But because then you're in the compromising mode. But you know, the budget would have been fine if it was a really small thing. And I think that's cool. You know, I want to do all kinds of stuff. I think, yeah, mixing it up is the way to go.
What kind of fads in horror are you interested in? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the 5 minutes. All right, cool. What's your take on the found footage thing that's going on in horror right now?
Well, I have like 2 takes on it. I think that when it first kind of happened, it's cool because it's interesting. You know, it was cool with Blair Witch, and then everyone kind of forgot, so they're all excited with paranormal, like it never happened before, but it's because somebody. But from my point of view, it's destroyed horror movies because once you make a movie for no money, like Paranormal, and it makes a fortune, they think you can make every movie for that amount of money, even if it's not shot on a security camera or someone's iPhone. So, no, I'm not kidding. Like, if they went back and made Halloween 3, they'd want to go, oh, good, make it for $500,000. Have no production, no nothing, and that's because the studios basically look at it like, okay, studios hate horror movies. They think they're crap, they treat them that way, and they go, well, just crank it out for no money, we don't care if it's good, cash in the opening weekend, and fuck everybody. That's the general attitude, you know. And now that they make them for no money, it's just the days of seeing big budget, like, horror movies is really over until something changes. I mean, you know, everyone always goes, oh, why isn't it like The Shining, or The Exorcist, or Rosemary's Baby, The Omen, with A-list directors and A-list stars and huge budgets? Because those days are fucking over, man. Now it's like, hire nobody. They don't even want to hire a real crew anymore. They literally want to try to make these movies with interns for free, you know? And when you do that, and maybe every once in a while something cool will pop out, but for the most part it destroys the whole genre.
Squeeze in a few more questions. Right here.
That's what I think.
Very good answer.
Well, I realized ever since Roger Ebert mentioned it, when he reviewed Devil's Rejects and gave it a thumbs up, it became the good luck thing. And whenever it wasn't there, it was a problem. So that's true.
Let's see. Blue shirt.
What advice would you give someone who wants to start out in horror movies now, saying what you just said?
Don't do it.
Tell them that you'll work for free and you will have a fucking job directing Paranormal 5 tomorrow, my friend. Trust me. No fucking joke.
I want to do the crap like Paranormal Activity. That's the problem. I don't
Well,
want to
then,
do that
that's, see, that's the catch-22 we spoke of.
Blue shirt, part 2.
Any thoughts on high frame rate or 8K or higher technologies?
You know, truthfully, I want films to look worse. I hate that they look so good. You know, because I spend a lot of time trying to degenerate this film. So you get all these great cameras and they're super high def and they sit there forever trying to make it look grainy and old. So I'm not a big fan. I don't want to see anything that sharp, you know.
No one way in the back? No one in the back? Alright. Right. Oh, where? Oh, all the way. Who's
just
going
shut
me?
something out.
There you
Why couldn't we have real rats in the hallway?
Those are real rats.
You work harder at degenerating, man, because they look like CGI, and I got sad.
That's the stupidest I ever heard. Those were real rats.
go. Right here, moving on. Next question. Right here. Last
No,
one.
seriously, we had fucking a
funny.
lot of real rats, man. Those things fucking stank like shit. Those are real rats.
Last question right here.
They must just walk for you. No, trust me.
That's funny.
Wait, there was a guy behind the door. He was actually like a guy that I recognized from
That's
TV
funny.
with a hairdryer scaring the rats so they would run. Maybe they were running funny because they were scared with a hairdryer, but they were real. Yeah, no, that's funny. Maybe you're so used to CG shit that when you see real stuff, and now it's fake.
There you go. There you go.
Kind of going back to production companies, one name that I noticed on the screen was Jason Blum, and I know he's a huge horror fan himself. You know, Blumhouse is really appreciative for the horror genre. So how was it like working with them versus maybe like Lionsgate, you know, someone who's coming up, you know, from, you know, wanting to do...
Lionsgate was awesome. Next question.
Right here. Last question. For real.
When I first saw you guys rock, Sherri, I love you so also. And can I be in your next movie?
I don't know. Can you skate really fast and grow a mustache?
All right. Let's give a round of applause to Rob and Sherri, guys. Thank you all so much for coming out.